Hi, Tracy. So you guys look amazing. I don't know what you're feeding him, but he looks fantastic. So this is your lateral flexion that you're starting with, and this is very good. You're doing a great job keeping it the same and giving when he's giving. Okay. This is your vertical flexion. You're still raising your hands up some. So see how the hands there, they're better. But when you take contact, you're kind of coming up and then pulling on them. So when you do your vertical flexion, since he has such a short neck, I would hold shorter. I would hold it in the red, and that might get you out of the habit of lifting your hands so much. See how they're kind of coming up? So shorten up and try just to concentrate on using your fingers and try not to be moving your arms as much. But your body position, your leg, your eyes, all of that, you're doing really, really well with. Your bending is good. I would just keep a little bit more inside leg on him as you're making the turn. Just keep that leg against him so he doesn't fall in. Yeah, a little bit more leg there. He's fallen in a little bit. It's not bad, but I would like a little bit more bend or arc through his body as you're turning. And then remember to squeeze and relax with your inside rein as you're bending him, and keep a steady support with that outside rein. So if his head's not staying down, try to bend that outside elbow a little bit more to make it more consistent pressure on the outside rein. Remember, we're trying to push from inside leg to outside rein, and that'll help you to keep his head down more. So there, you're pretty good. I still, just because he's on the pacey side and we had to get so much relaxation out of him, if he gaited well and had no issues and wasn't pacing, his head carriage would be fine. But since he's pacey, I would keep trying to get it lower, try to get the top of his head. Like there, it's pretty good, but it's keeping it down there. And the rein length here is good. Your body position is great. He looks beautiful. It's just keeping it. So again, you're trying to keep that rein short enough that you can just use your fingers and not be bending your wrist. If his head's not coming down, go from your fingers after about 30 seconds, add in just bending your elbow. And if that's not working, always check and make sure that you're kind of giving and taking on that inside rein, but that outside rein is steady. And if that's still not working and his head's not going down enough, go to that right leg, because we know he always falls to the right. But it's hard. You're pressing with that leg and trying to catch him with that outer rein and leg. And then every time that head comes down, you want to go forward and down with his head. Okay. So it's just getting your timing down, getting the feel, but you're still, when his head comes up, you're still kind of raising your hands up, and then you're closing your fingers on the reins. Now, speed-wise, for a flat walk, this is a pretty good speed. We know he has multiple speeds in him. So it's just getting that speed to stay consistent. Again, you might have to play a song or something in there, or just be counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 for his flat walk. Okay. And then again, you're trying to hold and then release forward and down. So you hold, then release forward and down. So we want to give your releases forward and down a little bit bigger to try to get him to stretch down and to relax more. And then again, to help you, I would lunge him and use the surcingle and the side reins, because the side reins are so steady. That will help him to make more of a connection. And again, when he's gaiting well and holding the speed, that head position's fine. But for now, we want it down below my pen. So we want his head down here more to make sure he stays out of that pace and to keep his neck and back relaxed. And then the other thing, if he's changing speed, remember to breathe and relax and then go to your half halt. So on your turn, There, you're looking down a little bit at him too much. So you want to look at the trees you're starting to here, and just lean back a little bit more when you're doing your turn on the forehand. And then if he's not moving off that leg, he's better now. He can make that complete turn. You just want to tap him with your stick, but lean back. Use your upper back to help you for your strength. Lift your chin just a little bit higher so you're looking more that way, because it's starting to drop here. There, your eyes are good. But overall, very nice. We're just trying to get it better, and very nice for a deer running by. So here's your flat walk again. You are starting to go a little faster, so it's going more towards your running walk. And again, footfall is good. You got a clean 4-beat footfall, but I want to see more relaxation. Like, that's better through his neck and his back, and have that head lower. But be careful. I don't know if you just saw those hands come up. And you just got to be, it's hard, but your timing just got to be a little bit quicker when he starts to speed up, that you catch him within that first step. But that just takes practice. So again, as you try to use your fingers and not raise those hands up, you might have to put a breastplate on them, and keep your hands on the breastplate. A thin breastplate will steady your hands, and that way when you half halt, if you are lifting your hands up and I'm not here watching you, you will see and feel that you're pulling on that breastplate. So you want something, or a string or something around his neck that you can hold until you get those hands a little bit more steady. And then I want a bigger release. I want you to lean a little bit and go forward and down with his head when he starts to give. That's better there. But again, if he's not keeping it down, it's usually that they're cutting in or they're drifting out. Again, it's his right side. That was the harder part. So he is probably drifting out. So you probably got to keep a little bit more steadier outside rein and leg on him. Okay, so now you're going to start your turn on the forehand. So rein length is good. What you're trying to do is always use your fingers first, because you're so much better now. So use the fingers first, then apply your leg. Then if he's not turning enough, then you can bend that right elbow. But again, you're still lifting the hand a little bit. There, you're kind of looking at the ground. Now your eyes are better. So I'm being very picky here, because you're a good rider and you can be a great rider. So there, you want to hold him a little bit more with both reins. And then if he's not responding off that leg, I would continue to hold the stick in your right hand, because we know he always has a problem on the right. Or switch that stick before you turn to the right hand, because that would have helped more. And just leaning back a little bit more to make your back and arms stronger, and then not letting him dribble forward. So we want more of a pivot, because he's walking forward a little bit, and it does become very important on trail if you need to do it, or if they start bucking or something like that, you shut them down quicker. But you have to be leaning way back and then turn their head to the side to do like a one rein stop. But if you're falling forward, then it's very easy to fall forward when they're doing those bad things. So there, you sped up a little soon from that halt. I would go a little slower and go back to your flat walk, because now it's going up to his speed of his running walk. Now, some of the times you'll see his legs come a little closer. He has a little shorter stride. That's when he's going more towards your saddle gait. It's a slow saddle gait. That was good. Just lean back a little bit more when you're backing up. And then you want to slowly speed back up, because otherwise, as you speed up and he goes a little fast because he's moving off of your leg because of extra leg pressure, he gets more bunched up. So think of just walking forward, then slowly speeding up. Okay? And remember, anywhere it's downhill, that's where he's going to get pacey, so keep a little bend. So I'd keep supporting a little more with that outside rein, keep squeezing and relaxing on your inside rein, And then bigger releases forward and down towards his head when he does drop his head down. So there it's a little too high. Still too high, and follow his mouth. So when his head comes up, follow with your hands. There he's going more towards his saddle gait. And you'll see his legs start moving a little bit more together because he's getting a little bit towards that step pace. Again, that'll get better in time, but I would tend to go slower and then gradually moving to that gait versus how when you started off, you kind of push him a little bit with more pressure and get back up into that gait pretty fast, and then he gets tense. And if you find anywhere there's one spot, because it looks like it's the same spot that he's getting pacey, stay slower there. It usually means it's the footing, or add another pole in that one spot. And the other thing we can do, if he's not keeping his head down, we could put a running martingale on him. It'll put a little weight on the rein here, so as you pick up, it'll apply a little bit more pressure and might just give you a little bit more help to get his head down. And then once he's keeping it down consistently, you don't need it. But we'll see how you do the next time, and if it's not staying down, then we'll use something to help you guys get there. There it's pretty good, but again, I'd give forward and down with those releases. And then when he's speeding up, using your breathing, and then using just your fingers, try to be a little bit more, that's good there. That was very good. Try to be a little bit more lighter with your hand, that your half halt is a little bit less strong, and you're keeping those arms as still as you can, and use your breathing a little bit more. But you're otherwise doing a good job. I'm sure it's coming up, or maybe I skipped over it, but in part he was pacing and you pushed him over and did a shoulder in. So you're doing everything exactly right. It's just getting that feel, that timing down, and getting more relaxation through his neck and his back. But right there, you did like a little shoulder in, and that helped get more leg separation out of him. So the head helps us to get the relaxation, but it's riding him correctly. Just skip that part. And then also remember, with him, we're trying to get him to lower and then have his neck just a little less round. It looks really pretty, but we got to get that his neck is just a little bit flatter. And like there would be better, but we got to get that better. So lean back. You did get your eyes up there, but you need to keep your chin up a little bit, hold them, and then tap them with the stick, and then keep your body in the center, because as you turned, you kind of leaned off the side a little bit. Okay, so here you're going to start off in a second. So that was a better start. You didn't rush the speed. There you kind of lifted those hands up again, but you started off real well. The difference is as you're lifting up, it changes what that bit does. So again, you're trying to keep those hands more steady and come back this way. So definitely get a breastplate or wrap something around his neck, so it'll keep your hands more steady. There, he got pacey and you did a shoulder in, and that was spectacular. You did the exact right thing. So it's going to get much better in time. This is more your running walk here. We just need more relaxation from him. Yep. So you just got to keep working on it. It's hard. It's over and over and over again. But lunging him with the side reins will help. That was very good with the shoulder in. And there you had a very good running walk, and then he started bringing his head back up again. It's always harder in the arena. So that was a good frame right there when he dropped his head, but you got to release bigger, because I think he doesn't understand with you that you really want his head down further. And just remember, if it's not staying down, it's either his body, he's drifting to the right. So even though you have the fence there, you got to keep that right leg against him more. Or he's kind of going through that outside rein. That was very good with his head. So what I would try to do is if he drops down like that again, is to stop and give him a break and keep giving him breaks when his head is dropping way down to make it more clear to him that that's what you want. So there, you're pretty good. Now his head's coming back up. That's better there. And then it's just keeping the same exact speed. So when you do a video again, just tell me this is my flat walk. And then when you're going to go to the next gait, say this is my running walk and then this is my saddle gait. So I just know what you're aiming for at each point in time. And just remember, when you do your shoulder in, to twist from your waist and to bring that shoulder back as you're doing it. And you might have to, the other thing you can try is keeping your right leg, because that's the way he cuts in and drifts out, a little further back to make sure you're keeping his hind quarter underneath him and helping to control it, because that cuts in. So even if you're holding your belly in, and it might not look like it to me, but he still might be bringing that hind quarter in, and that might be part of why he keeps coming up. That's better with his head. And of course, he's coming back up. So again, this is more towards your running walk. Let's see if you got it. There, you raised your hand again. That's better with this head. So release forward and down. And then again, anytime you get it and his head's going way down here, just stop, tell him he's a good boy and really give him a lot of reward and rest him for a minute or two. So he starts to understand that's what you're aiming for. So I would work at your flat walk 5 minutes each direction. You could work at your running walk for 5 minutes each direction. He's in good shape. That'll get him a lot more leg separation, and just time it and get his body relaxed and his head down and that footfall clean. And then try for your saddle gait after that. There, you raise that hand up again. That's closer. So there, you're kind of between your running walk and your saddle gait. You're going towards it, but it's hard as you change and you start going faster. His head comes up and he's not as inverted as he used to be, but he starts to invert, and then the footfall's just not as clean, so it's not as smooth. That was very good. I would have stopped there.